for our next example, we have somebody solving an equation. Okay, so we have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. And they're asked to solve this equation. 3x minus 10 is equal to 16. And I'm just going to write down their work that they did. So in the next line, they said 3x minus 10, and they added 10 to both sides, minus 16 plus 10. On the third step, they got 3x equals negative 6. On the next step, they got 3x divided by 3 is equal to negative 6 divided by 3. And then on their final step, they got x minus x equals negative 2. And so they have some questions. What did they do in step 2? What did they do in step 4? Now, we haven't talked a lot about this. Mr. Adams has really informally said whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side of the equal sign. But it's really, there's a property in algebra, and these are called equivalency properties. And they have a name, and the name is basically whatever math operation you do. If I divide on one side, that's the division property of equality. If I add on both sides, that's the addition property of equality, right? If I subtract on both sides, that's the subtraction property of equality. So in step 2, what did we do to both sides of the equation? Huh? We added. So that would be what we use, what we call the addition property of equality. Okay? In step 4, what did we do? So what would we call that? The division property of equality. The word equality is used specifically because we have an equal sign. I am using like regular everyday words to say I added on one side of the equal sign, therefore I had to add on the other side of the equal sign. But I'm really saying we're using the addition property of equality. That'd be kind of weird, right? Being in high school, oh, you go home and tell your mom and dad, you know, what'd you do in school today? Oh, today we used all the properties of equalities to solve real world equations. No big deal. But you might say, well, we learned whatever I do on one side of an equation, I have to do to the other side. The second one's easier. Okay. Any questions on that one?